say something.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I want to welcome everyone to another edition of Strike Season Podcast. Myself, Lord Jamal, Doc Holiday from HBCU Overdrive, and special guest tonight, Florida A&M's Associate Athletic Director of Brand Management, Dennis Driscoll. Welcome, sir. Welcome.
Thank you, Troy.
I want to apologize to everybody. I'm having a little bit of technical issues with my internet because why not? So I'll try and get that fixed while we get everything started. You know, being a programmer for over 30 years, you would think that this would be easy, but just randomly, it is what it is. So Mr. Driscoll, you have had a lot going on over the last 6 months, probably more crazy so in the last 45 days or so, if you will. Right. Have you had a chance to take a break?
Yeah, really after that last women's basketball game in 2025, a home game, and then went to Birmingham, spent time with Christmas with my fiance, and then took it kind of easy. And then when our men's basketball team, well, then of course you had Quinn Gray happening during that, so that kept me a little busy. But then I was back in action for the men's and women's games at Bethune. So yes, I did take a much needed break. So I'm ready to rock and roll though in 2026.
So a lot of people, and myself included, because we're so used to the sports information director label, a lot of us get confused on what it is exactly you do. Now, from our perspective on this platform, we are very thankful for everything that you do because you get us the information that we wouldn't otherwise have. But can you give us an idea, just like a day in the life of your role for Florida A&M?
Of course. So I would say, the first sports information director, that term is, I don't want to say it's outdated, but it kind of is based on where we're at now in 2025, 2026. So you see people going to different roles like mine. I was giving Troy grief because he was calling me an SID earlier. But so as we go into this new era of, SID communications, digital, social media, it's a very wide umbrella. So you have the media relations side, you have the public relations side, you have the social media side, you have the branding side, and then there's also the side where you talk with people throughout the day, coaches and student athletes, colleagues that and that could be anywhere from university communications, where Dr. Alonda Thomas is at, president's office, just you name it. I would say, based on my role, I have a hand in a lot of stuff that goes on in the day-to-day office, Florida A&M, and not every day is the same. I can tell you that every day is different. Every day has unique challenges. So it's, I can tell you what I did today, but tomorrow it will be different. And that's really the landscape that it is right now. It's someone that has to be, there's a phrase for it, but I'm proficient in a lot of different things. And that makes the wheel go round.
Well, in recent days, we've had the transfer portal, which I'm sure is a lot of fun for you because the only thing everybody wants to hear is roster update.
Right.
And from from this end, and the Orange Blossom Classic was an excellent example. I had Howard's roster for probably 3 weeks up until the Orange Blossom Classic. And then probably 30 minutes before kickoff, we got an update on rosters. Can you explain to people why rosters are constantly in flux and why people should just relax on the whole roster being updated?
It's there's so many things that go behind rosters. We have a usually like for example, for we don't have a roster for 2026 yet at FAMU, so don't expect that anytime soon. I mean, we might have a preliminary one soon. So when you get into the spring and then the summer and the fall, things just change. Players might decide to leave, compliance issues. Players might be coming in late. Injuries. I mean, there's a whole host of things. Number changes too, position changes. Just kind of what a coach may want certain position group to have a certain number. There's lots of moving parts with that. Really, roster isn't solidified until the majority of it until fall camp starts. So I would say that it's about 75% full. Now, once fall camp starts, yeah, you might have the players there, but you don't have numbers yet, and they work their way through that process in fall camp. So it's there's just a host of reasons. I'm sure there's other reasons that I haven't thought about or said as well, but it's just very fluid. Things can change on a dime.
Jamal, do you have any questions?
No, I'm doing homework, so give me a second.
Well, and you know what? That brings up an excellent example. Your department, my understanding is a department of one and then interns.
Yeah,
So
that's correct.
I'm trying to put this nicely. So we dump bricks on top of you every day and then hope you can make a house out of it with just one man. With the new athletic director coming in, has he had any discussions about increasing the department or giving you more resources to work with?
I know we're gonna have a conversation soon. Mr. Davis is, he's been on the job for about 10 days or so, but I know that we're gonna have a conversation and talk through what we're good at, what we're struggling, what we need, and I'm really confident that our staff will expand. But I do want to mention, yes, I am a staff of one, but we do have a lot of great, talented student athletes. Or, I'm sorry, well, we do have talented student athletes, but a lot of students that do work for me that do a great job. Even before I got here, it was very heavy on students. And for example, TK, videographer, he's a fantastic student. Taylor Adams, who you saw do the Quinn Gray interview, is a fantastic student. Jordan Fitzpatrick, student, is someone that leads with our photos. Isabella De Jesus, another photographer. Eli Durant, photographer. Jamil, she's just started working with video for women's basketball. Jakayla is working with video for men's basketball, and all kind of sprinkling in there. So that's we do have a great students that love the school, love the Rattlers, and they take great pride in their work. And they're really, there's a talented group. And we all know that FAMU, it's not everyone can get into this school. Like you have to have a certain way, and they are all great critical thinkers. They're smart. So the fact that we have these students that are here, and they're able to intern, and some of it's paid, some internships as well. So, but that just is a testament to the type of students that come to this school and come to FAMU, and I think that's just a great resource to have.
Doc Holiday, you got a question? I think I might have lost him. So I'll ask another one, because we are in the midst of basketball season, and I think I quite enjoyed the Louisiana Purchase campaign.
that was me. I did that. That's one thing I could take credit for.
That was a good one. I had me a good laugh off that one when I saw it straight across my Twitter feed. I said, "Hey, we on to something with this one."
So that was a very good one, and we got Alabama coming up next month, so maybe we'll have another campaign for that. But I really enjoyed that, and this is two things that happened for me as a fan. I enjoyed the lead up to basketball seasons because the social media campaign got us excited for basketball. When typically this part of what I call strike season, after football, we're not usually excited about it until like something happens. So we were already excited about it before the season happened, and that may be because Charlie Ward, we had a couple players coming back from the women's program, and then the women go on a run that we definitely didn't expect. And we were able to see, and again, you get to see the coaches more than we do. We got to see more of Coach Gordon's personality than we normally do.
Right.
And I think that was enjoyable from a fan standpoint.
Coach Gordon is, she's great to work with. I would say to go, back to the women's team, and they 95% of that team is new. Like, it's really a new team, and you're going to see that a lot in the era of college sports that we're in with the transfer portal. You're going to have a lot of roster movement and changes. That's going to be the norm. So non-conference play, and even during the summer, they didn't know each other. They had to take that time. Troy's like a first date, with a girl. You got to feel your way out and, make sure that you get to know one another. And really, I think that, and Coach Gordon said this she said this at the press conference last night, earlier this week. The Bethune-Cookman game really made them grow up as women. And now that they're 3 games in, soon to be 4, like they're really starting to trust one another. They're starting to just know those small details about one another and get to know each other as a team. And that's, conference play is when you want to see that happen. And that's what they've been able to do.
Again, one of the best parts for us when it comes to working with Florida A&M is being able to have a liaison to get players, to get coaches on the shows, because that magnifies the athletic program. And you have been instrumental with not only getting us access to places that we didn't get access to before, but also getting us the stories, because this platform follows the website, Florida A&M or FAMU Athletics website, just in case I miss something. So we follow the site, and I will freely admit, Miss Purifoy, I didn't know she was 5 feet until until I think the Bethune-Cookman game. And somebody was like, yeah, she's only 5 feet. And I was like, did anybody tell her she was 5 feet? And for me, with her, she's actually, if my internet was working properly, she would be my background tonight. She has been a fan favorite because of her heart.
Yeah.
And I'm waiting to see more from her. And of course, I'm going to send the email to get her on this show. But I'm definitely waiting to get more. And for everybody that's out there that's listening, I probably sent Dennis more emails and text messages about getting people onto the show than I'm probably allowed to. But it's just because we want to tell those stories.
Right. Yeah. Coach Gordon calls her little mama, and because she's the mom of the team. And she says that she's an extension of her on the court. Like she has very high basketball IQ, and really is as far as she goes, the team's gonna go. So she's the de facto captain of the program.
I'm gonna try and get this to work.
There we go.
Why that orange and green, Troy? Stop playing.
Hang your phone up or it's gonna echo.
Why that orange and green, Troy? Come on.
Nobody said no when you have your blue lights on in your blue room.
Hey man, it's crippling. I'm playing. No, but
all right, hopefully that's good.
Hey, you better be glad I got my camera on because I'm cooking right now so I can have lunch for work tonight.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So talk about women's basketball. Men's basketball. Charlie Ward has been a I don't know how to explain his personality. He's very reserved, but he's been a reserved juggernaut. How has it been working with him?
It's been great. You know, I have an interesting parallel with dual sport athletes in Florida State. So when I was at Jackson State, I worked with Prime, you know, here working with Coach Ward. So they're the same, but they're different. Obviously, you got Coach Prime with his persona and all that on one end, and you got Coach Ward, who is the exact opposite on the other end. But they share a lot of the same, I want to say, values and intangibles and just how they carry themselves. They're confident and prepared, and they're tough. They're detailed. They're process driven, process oriented, team oriented. I know people say, "Oh, Coach Prime isn't team oriented." Yes, he is. Just people think because of his primetime persona that he's selfish, and he's not. But I would say those are all things that they share, and I think that's something they all kind of come from that Bobby Bowden tree, and just it's interesting to see this, just see how they're similar in that aspect. And they're both winners. I mean, they both won at life, and I would say they just Coach Ward just he's just a great person to work with, and he knows what he wants with the program. And you know, they're 2-1 in conference play. First time that has happened as members of the SWAC, and first time since 2016-17 season that's happened in conference play. So already making a difference.
To say that again, I am probably the chief trash talker on Twitter, and I have been getting my fill the last week. So I can't say anything bad about the basketball programs because I am enjoying myself probably a little too much. Oh, there's Marlo. Marlo, do you have any questions for Mr. Driscoll?
I do not at this time. I'm sorry, I'm
He may not
late,
completely got it.
and I just want to commend you on the job that you're doing. And, you know, as long as you keep it all about FAMU, you can't have nothing but success. So I
Appreciate
really
it.
appreciate you.
Thank you.
Now, my favorite parts of the season, of any season, because we do more trash talking. I promise you, we do more trash talking during baseball and softball season than probably should be allowed. And that's part of that is because that school in Daytona always starts it. I want to say that the good Christian children always start it. And so, but we've also been of the thought process that when it comes to baseball and softball, that it should always run through the Florida schools. In baseball season last year, it most definitely did, and heartbreaking loss. But
yeah,
how is it working with both Coach Scoop and Coach Bill?
oh, they're great. I have a really good relationship with both of them. Coach Shoop's actually right across the hall, so I see him. He's probably one of the coaches I interact with daily. And then Coach Beal, she's very social media driven, and she really wants to take that to a different level. So we're constantly working on social media and what her plans for that are, and that's something that she really takes as a priority for her program. Coach Shoop, he when it comes to social media, he'll tell you he doesn't have a Twitter or an IG. He says so he's more, but he definitely understands the importance of players being out there and being promoted, and he's great to work with that aspect too. But they're both our baseball and softball coaches are really good people, and they're great coaches as well. I'm really excited to see the seasons that they're both going to have. Last year for the baseball team was supposed to be a rebuilding year. They ended up being one pitch away from going to the NCAA tournament, and then softball, same as well. They were one out away from going, so they were almost
literally one out away.
They both
I'm
returned
still mad about that game.
core nucleus of their teams. So I'm really excited to see what they'll do.
Nobody should be madder than me, because when I was at that school in Daytona at that football game, Coach Hernandez made sure he made a beeline to me to show me his ring.
That's the only one they got. Of course, he got to show it off.
Get back.
I'm sorry.
So we are, getting ready for towards the end of the year. We get ready for the media days and the tournaments. This year, hopefully, knock on wood, we're going to try and be at the SWAC basketball tournament, and both SWAC basketball tournaments and the baseball and softball tournaments. Hopefully, we'll be able to do a live and get you on the show, because again, we're not able to do our jobs without you. And if nobody else tells you, I can tell you, FAMU podcast, diaspora, we talk about I think I'm back. I'm not sure. Like, me and Fios, we got to have a long conversation.
Now you're back.
Well, because is Fios on fiber optic? Or are they still on? Okay, all right. That tells me what I need to know.
I got a question.
Now, is there any stories on our end that we need to? Is there any stories on our end that we need to amplify, or stories that we're missing out on that
I couldn't hear last part.
He was asking, is there any stories like we need to amplify on our team?
Are there
Any stories needed to amplify? I would say anything with our student athletes, like
Right.
in this era of name, image, likeness. Those stories are gonna get them money. I mean, that's the best way to describe it. I'll go back to an instance that happened. It was right before COVID. When I was at Jackson State, we had a student manager dress up in the final game, and he hit a 3-pointer and went viral. Thomas Snacks Lee, and if that would have happened in this era, he would have been a millionaire.
Yep.
But the stories that we're able to tell of our student athletes, people are going to see them, and you're going to see advertisers, fans of the program, fans of the university, whoever it may be. They might like a story. They might like a kid, and they want to monetarily support that person through a name, image, likeness deal. And that's the era that we're into. So positive stories about our student athletes is really what everyone should be doing. That is with FAMU athletics that covers this program in all of our sports, because for us to compete and win and retain and recruit, that is going to be important for us, and it already is. I mean, that's the name, image, likeness is probably the most important aspect, aside from the transfer portal, that our coaches and admin that have to work with every day.
It's a question in the chat, Troy.
So I saw a couple of them, right? The first one, and I need y'all to understand, I'm only asking this because I've asked them this before, and the answer is always no, but I'm going to ask it so you guys understand. Are there any coach leaks that we don't know about that you want to talk about today?
I can't.
That he can say and not get in trouble.
I can't. It's got to be HR approved. Got that HR stamp. So once we get that HR stamp, then we can announce it. But I can tell you that Quinn Gray is our head football coach.
Now, does everybody understand? When I hear something, I have to go, hey, Dennis, on the record, I heard. And he tells me that exact answer. So nobody's keeping anything from you. We actually follow the steps like we're supposed to, and we get the correct answer. Now, when it does come out, he's going to let us know.
Yep. I will.
I got a question. I got a question for you. You yourself and Travis Jerome, y'all are pretty much like some of the big names, SIDs and the SWAC.
I'm a big name. Oh, thank you.
Hey, you at FAMU, you a big name, brother.
Hey, look, I don't give FAMU they props all the time, but as far as with you have done.
We do not care, Doc.
Hey, look, man, I'm trying to be real, tell the truth.
You being petty.
I'm not being
too early. We ain't even at the show out section yet. You start.
I ain't petty. I'm not petty tonight, man.
You sure about that?
When we get to NFL talk, then yeah, I'll be petty.
Your team's sitting at home. You can't be petty about that.
Hey, we all sitting at home, bro.
Hey, at least we played the extra week.
Hey, we got company. We got company people.
Hey, my bad. But no, y'all two, yourself and Travis Jerome, y'all are the big names of the SIDs and the SWAC. Do y'all get in contact with each other and try to bounce ideas off each other from time to time?
I mean, we used to. I mean, I would say that Travis and I have a lot of respect for one another. I mean, I would say we emulate each other at times. Like, it's kind of like I see something that Jackson State does, and then I might, put a twist on it in a FAMU way, and he'll see something that we do, and he'll put a twist on it on his own way. Like for his basketball graphics, I saw that or for the final score, I think he liked what we did with our football one, and he kind of commissioned it to what he wanted to look like in the JSU brand. So little things like that. I think Travis is the best SID in the conference. He's done a really good job. He's really good at his role.
All right.
Before we get you out of here, I want to again thank you for your work. Just know that there will be several emails coming because it's that wonderful time of year where we want to talk to all the spring sports coaches. We haven't had Shoop on the podcast yet. We're working to get Coach Ward on here, and we're working to get Coach Gordon on here. So we're going to send the emails, and we're going to try and give everybody a chance to not only talk to the coaches, but also to talk to the players, because this is probably, like I said, the most exciting time I've been about FAMU basketball in a very long time.
I think this past week, with sweeping the Louisiana schools and doing our own version of Louisiana Purchase, is probably the best weekend for FAMU basketball in quite some time.
And you will be right.
That is the most gangsterest, pettiest thing I ever heard right there.
I want to thank you for being accessible. Like when we reach out to you, you respond. If you don't answer right then, you get back with us, and I appreciate that. Some of them other folks I got beef with, but I ain't gonna air that while you on the show. I'm gonna wait till you leave.
Oh God! Again, thank you, Mr. Driscoll, for coming on our podcast. Again, wonderful work. We're gonna reach out again to have you back on the show soon.
I appreciate it. Hey, also, I'm a Broncos fan, and we're still in.
He just had to be petty on his way out the door.
Again, at least you are not a Cowboys fan. They season been over since week 6.
Boy, I've been trying to bury Jerry Jones for the last 3 years. What you talking about, man?
Hey, Jerry Jones.
Hey, this don't know about me and my, well, I want to say my hatred for
we got company. We can't have him on camera while you trying to bury Jerry Jones. We're not doing that today.
No, I'm here for it.
you talking to the dude man, look, I've been trying to, ever since I've been on this show, I've been trying to bury Jerry Jones for like the last 2 years. Hell, I would say I've been trying to bury him for the last 30 because we ain't been back to the Super Bowl since then. So,
you know, hey, we went to a wild card with the first year, everything. So,
hey, look,
y'all got 187 years of football experience in Dallas and still can't win.
You know, what, Jamal? Since you brought it up, since we're here, there was a young lady from the Jacksonville Free Press that during the press conference gave Jacksonville's head football coach a pep talk instead of a tough question.
It was 27 seconds long.
And it has been where it comes from. For me, we haven't been able to get into NFL rooms specifically because somebody on this podcast may or may not have bullied an NFL defensive tackle. That's all alleged. I don't know. But we haven't been able to get into those rooms.
I bullied owners, so it wasn't me.
I do not think what she did was wrong, especially in this changing world of media. This isn't the sports reporters anymore. We are in a different world when it comes to how we interact with coaches and players. So being positive when we just had Aaron Rodgers answer a question that was absolutely insane. I don't know. Y'all tell me what you think about it.
No, I don't think it was wrong. I think Okay, and all right. Remember, we say this all the time on this show. The root word of fan is fanatic, right?
Right.
I want my beat writer for the Jacksonville Jaguars to hate Tennessee just as much as I hate. Like I want that. I don't want the beat writer. I don't want the Jacksonville press in the press conference being non-biased media, because that's not sports media. Sports media has always been driven and written by fanatics, by fans.
She just happened to get paid to be
right. They just so happen to get paid. They can string words together and they just so happen to get paid. So no, because that lady is from Jacksonville, she was right. She got but just as much blood, sweat, and tears as everybody else that roots for that team. So no, it wasn't wrong. I think we have gotten to a point where where sports media persons feel like sports media should fit in this gray box and they don't step outside of that gray box. That ain't fun. That's not sports.
Yeah.
Man, but you really look at it though. The man came in there, the coach came up in there, he looked upset, he kind of looked defeated, but you needed to hear something like that to come from somebody else, especially her, because, like she said, she been doing this thing for over 25 years. And ain't nobody gonna change her for how she does her, her job. There's going to be times where she is going to ask tough questions to Coach Cohen, but at that present moment, what we saw was empathy and compassion.
But you also look at the questions that was answered. Like, why are you asking this man about the toughness of Josh Allen? Why are you asking the same question you've been asking since week 5 in reverse?
They better be glad they ain't asked me them questions.
Thank you.
That interview would have been left.
Hey, I would have been like, what was the dude? He was the coach of the, I think it was the Royals. He from FAMU. When they asked him a question, baseball.
You talking about
and he destroyed the whole office. That would have been me.
Vince Coleman? Was that Vince Coleman?
Yes, it was Vince Coleman. It was Vince Coleman.
That was Vince Coleman. That was how
he was a skipper for the Kansas City Royals. He destroyed the whole office. I would have did the same thing, because you're asking him dumb questions after a tough loss. Like they chased that field goal the entire game.
Kirk, we got company. We can't have Marlo giving his answers to those questions. Sorry.
No, Marlo give his answers when Driscoll gone.
So
yeah,
Mr. Driscoll,
we have to circle back.
Mr. Driscoll.
Yes, sir.
As a media person who the head coach at Florida A&M asked me not to ask him about his quarterback, but I've had to ask him about his quarterback. Have you seen situations where coaches are put in tough positions and they try to answer to the best of their ability, even through the worst of times?
Oh, yeah.
And you don't get to say, don't ask me about your quarterback when your quarterback is half the reason why we lost the game. Asking about the quarterback is a sports-related question. Thank you.
I think anytime a head coach goes up to the podium, and it could be at FAMU. I mean, it's been anywhere that I've worked at. They're responsible to answer those tough questions. That's their job. So
it's being accountable.
Yes, accountable. When you, I mean, every coach that I've seen. Okay, so I've worked at a number of places. I'm gonna just name them off. My Division I schools: New Mexico State, Jackson State, Northern Colorado, Stephen F. Austin, Alabama State, and now Florida A&M. In each one of those programs, the head coach, had coaches where they didn't want to. They wanted to control the box. Like they just wanted to be really, really in control of everything. That included reporters, podcasters, bloggers, and YouTubers. Some coaches can be very sensitive for whatever reason. I've also had coaches that they don't mind it. They understand it's part of the job. But I always lean towards the coach especially if you're at a public school. If you're at a public institution, it is your duty to answer those questions. You can't control something that is, I'm gonna say it's unconstitutional, but we got freedom of the press in this country for a reason, and it might not be World War III that's going to start, but you got those tough questions that you're held accountable to based on you are paid by a state entity. So that's my thoughts on it. I think coaches should always answer those tough questions, and it keeps everyone accountable. And I think more so transparent, because there's a difference between being transparent and honest. So I think it allows you to be transparent and address that ahead of time.
So
I think with the FAMU base, there is no room for gray area. I think that from the very onset of the season, I think it was after the first or second game when he said, "Don't ask questions about his quarterback." That you can't make that your dynamic.
Yeah.
Like you can't want to control the dynamic so much that you're not fulfilling your job.
Right.
And if you are beyond reproach, then say you're beyond reproach and go find you some job where you can do that, like high school or something. But when it's you're getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to do a job and you're not doing it, then you got to hold yourself accountable for it.
Yeah.
I want to make sure we impress upon everybody on the panel. We can't do this with him here.
No, I mean, so this is the only thing I'm gonna say about it, right? In a presser about sports, if a coach gets up and say, "Hey, I ain't answering no questions about my personal life," I understand that. As long as you're asking about this game, you're asking about these teams, you're asking about these players, that's part of your job. Answer that. So those are the only realm of questions where I'm like, why are you asking? That is personal. What are you doing? But asking about quarterback, asking about, I remember when the Seahawks lost that last Super Bowl because Pete Carroll chose to throw the ball. Like, Pete, what were you doing? Like, asking those things, that's part of the job. That's why they're there, because as a fan and as a football fan, I want to know, what were you thinking? Why are you throwing the ball on goal line when you have Marshawn Lynch in the backfield? Like, what were you thinking?
And as a fan base, you want to know if your coach can hold himself accountable, and that's how you garner more support. Like if you see the building is burning, but you still sending people in there, like it's a problem. And I think that's where the disconnect was with the last regime.
I was going to ask you.
Can I jump on here? I just want to add. So, with Coach Colsey, he's a great guy, really nice guy. I really loved working with him. Probably one of the best coaches to work with in my career. And I know he wanted to take the arrows for that team. That was his mindset. If he didn't want to put his players in that aspect, and you saw that because he didn't. The only time we made players available after a game was Florida Classic. So he wanted to wear that, and that was his. As a head coach, that was ultimately his call. And a lot of times at SIDs, and this is my philosophy, is we let the head coach is the CEO of their program. We can give advice and we can provide that guidance, but at the end of the day, they're the ones that make that choice. And so
Which is also doing a disservice to those kids, because the ones that do have further aspirations, they don't know how to interact with media because of that. I mean,
but we did do media training with all of them during the preseason. So we did have about 5 to 6 kids that we're ready to go. And coach just at that time didn't want to make them available, so they were prepped and ready to go. So, but I do agree with you though. If you're able to go after each game, win or loss, you're going to become more comfortable with that. Repetition will make you better. So, but that was that.
I got a question. What year were you at Stephen F. Austin?
2022, 2013.
13 to 22?
22, sorry, 22, 23.
22, 23. Okay.
Nacogdoches, Texas.
Oh yeah, I've been. I was a student there from 06 to 08.
Oh, okay.
That sounds like a lot of driving.
What's up?
That sounds like a lot of driving. That's what that sounds like.
Definitely sound like a lot of driving.
Nah, from here, it's not even that far from me. It's like 2.5 hours.
Where you at right now?
I live in Dallas. I'm born and raised here in Dallas. I take 20 to 259.
Yeah, Axe and Jacks.
Yeah, I have not been back on that campus since 2019. So
yeah,
I need to make an appearance. Probably this season when they're not playing in Nacogdoches. They're playing them in Prairie View.
Yeah.
Well, again, I want to thank you for coming on to the show. Love the insight, and we're definitely gonna get you back on the show. We always try to protect our guests, not only from us but from outside forces. So that's why we were like, "Hey, we got to behave while he on." So I just want you to be aware of that. It is Fat Mouth Sports for a reason. So we make sure we protect our guests. But again, I want everybody listen. Follow FAMU Athletics. Follow Dennis Driscoll on both Instagram and on Twitter. A lot of insight. You will also find out that he is soon to be, in the near future, is going to be married.
Oh, yeah.
So, at a later time.
Stacey Adams for the past 6 months.
And listen, somebody's going to invite me to their wedding, and I got Stacey Adams to go to a wedding. I'm all set for it.
Don't invite him to your wedding because he ain't gonna have on no socks. And
here we go.
Yeah,
I'm gonna drop the wedding registry on Twitter so anyone can donate. So
boom, there you go.
All right. Well, thank you guys, Troy. Appreciate it as always.
No problem.
So I'm gonna say Broncos win the Super Bowl over the Bears. I'm leaving.
I hope y'all both lose.
Later, brothers.
All right, thank you.
All right, have a good one.
Oh man. This has been a healthy season for me.
I told y'all that was my SID. Now, I be trying to be on my professional behavior around people I like, but if that was at Daytona SID, I gotta ask him about some stuff. You gotta get him back on the show.
We already talked about the getting the whole thing. We talked about that.
Pick up. You know what? I'm gonna send that to somebody. Hold on, one second.
And just that quick, I lost my train of thought.
I ain't do it.
No, it's not anything you did. Me and Fios, we beefing today. We beefing today. So some news on the NFL level. Pittsburgh Steelers coach Mike Tomlin has stepped down as their head football coach. And I'm trying to figure out why the Raiders won't accept my point so they can fly him out to Vegas. I'm trying to figure that out.
I mean, does he want to keep coaching or does he want to do TV? I personally don't want to see Mike Tomlin on TV. I want to see Mike Tomlin on the sideline. But
yeah,
what does he
actually, as a coach, I really don't think there's nobody who take their job as serious as he does. Because when when you hear the players talk about coaches, like it's a different level when they talk about Mike Tomlin.
Yeah, I mean,
Like
wasn't
it's
he wasn't he the longest team coach in the league?
Yep.
19 years
Yeah. So
with zero losing seasons,
no losing seasons and a Super
and he
Bowl.
had some terrible team. He
Terrible,
had
terrible is an understatement.
that was he had he had some bad ones.
The only question I honestly have for Mike Tomlin is, was that man his choice as QB, or did they force him on it? That's
You,
Uh,
you know the answer to that question.
that's why he stepped down.
That's
He
what I
wanted to wait. He wanted to wait till after the season was over. This was probably already in the works. He probably already informed the organization
because
see.
that
that
That's what
that
I remember.
that's what
I
I
think we
think.
talked about it either on this show or in the group chat, and I was like, that makes no sense. The man has a year left, maybe, when you got the opportunity to draft a young quarterback, sign a veteran quarterback, and build for the future. Missing out on everything that's available for him makes no sense.
and he literally was a statue in the pocket. Like
Man,
that's why
they hit
they
that man
teed
so
off
hard.
on that.
On that, I think it was the fourth quarter on that last sack. They hit that man so hard, they slowed it down. His helmet slipped off, and he closed his eyes and just fell to the ground.
Oh, he got PTSD.
Yes,
That's what
from
he
that
got.
hit alone.
That's what he
And
got.
after that, he did not come back in the game.
He did not.
But
What was
see,
that?
And
this is
Matt,
what I
if
don't
you
like.
look at quick answer for Matt. If you look at that last draft, even the drafts before that, it would have made more sense for the Steelers to hold on to who was that dude
Justin
that played
Fields.
behind Russ? Like Justin Fields. It would have made more sense for them to hold on to Justin Fields. Justin Fields is what, 24?
25.
25. He has gotten zero development through his NFL career. He's been passed around. It would have made more sense for them to hold on to Justin Fields, get Justin Fields some actual development with a beast of DK Metcalf. They would have beat the Texans last night. And I will bet my last $100 on that.
I think Justin Fields has gotten a bad rap because he's gone to a lot of bad teams.
He
Like when
has.
he was in
They
Chicago,
they
They
sent that man out of Chicago.
sabotaged him in Chicago.
yes,
They sabotaged him in Chicago.
Yes.
and in Pittsburgh. Like he never really had a shot at being the starter.
But hey, honestly, if I had to choose Justin Fields starting over a man with a Super Bowl, I'm picking the man with Super Bowl until he proves that he don't know what the fuck he doing. So that wasn't a bad call. To me, I was like, I see what they're doing. You got Justin Fields, you got Russ. So even if Russ takes a back seat next season, but you sit Justin Fields behind him right now for the development, that makes more sense for the future than what they did this year.
But the crazy thing about it, they never would have had to pay Justin Fields no gaggle of money that they gave Aaron Rodgers.
No,
Like,
they would
and
not have. They could have got him for a discount. Shit.
yeah, I don't know.
Could have got him
It's
for a
just
free roll up in an Arizona iced tea.
it's just crazy. Like the NFL team, it almost feels like a lot of them try to lose. They don't lose enough to get high draft picks, but they lose just enough to piss off their fan base. It's crazy.
Not the Raiders.
But here's the thing, I kind of argue this with Dave. I'm like, Pittsburgh has not been out of the first round of the playoffs since 2016, right? Even though he has 19 winning seasons, consecutively, what has he done, or what has his team done since that Super Bowl run back in, what was that, 2009?
I'll ask you an even more pointed question. What other coach in the NFL would have done more with the teams that he has?
None of them. All of them would have been fired after that season.
Like it's like comparing apples and oranges. You just can't, because there's no way to compare what Mike Tomlin does or meant to Pittsburgh. It's just you can't quantify it. Like he got guys to run through brick walls that normally can't run through cotton walls.
But here's the thing, though. Pittsburgh, the Rooney family is wrong. Whoever the GM is, they set that man up for failure because they haven't gotten him a compatible a quarterback. So what was going to be your contingency plan when Ben Roethlisberger left?
There isn't one.
There wasn't one. You had like you don't like. See, here's the thing about owners, NFL owners, and when it comes to these long-time quarterbacks, they're not going to draft the quarterback and develop a quarterback until that said quarterback, that franchise quarterback, say, hey, either I'm about to go to another team, or I'm about to hang up, you know what I'm saying? I'm about to hang up the cleat. Then you go into you all up in scramble mode because it's like, damn, we ain't got no backup, we ain't got no quarterback to develop. And you see what, like I said, you see what happened when you have give me an example of a quarterback. Like that.
Honestly, I think the last time we saw something actually like go from QB to QB the way it technically should have was Brett Favre and what his name in Green Bay. Even though Brett Favre refused to retire, once he did retire, Aaron Rodgers took over. It was seamless.
Right.
Yeah. All I know is that he need to be in Vegas.
Especially when they was talking about them firing him and we didn't have a coach, I was like, shit, Shad Khan, call that man right now. If they that stupid to fire Mike Tomlin, hey, Duval, he look good in teal.
So, yeah, because we don't need no quarterback right now. We need to trade them picks. We can go get us a veteran quarterback in the meantime. We can get us a veteran quarterback in the meantime and build us a team instead of trying to get a quarterback.
We already talked about this. We talked about this already. Who's going to be the number one draft pick coming out in this year's draft? We don't know. This is not a good draft for QBs.
Nah, but with the way teams are casting aside young QBs, shit. Justin Fields is available. Hell, Carolina clearly hate their quarterback. Kyler Murray is over there. You can get a quarterback. A gently used quarterback at that for cheap. That just needs some development and a little bit of love.
Well, I'm about. This wasn't on the rundown, but I'm gonna throw it out there because I saw it late. So we talked about Desmond, or the quarterback from Washington,
Desmond Williams.
So the whole world jumped on him because he went back to the school, and everybody was like, "Oh, I see the contract work." Well, let's re-examine that, shall we? Because everybody talked about when he jumped in the portal, his agent dropped him, and that probably caused him to go back to school. Well, what they didn't tell you was that his agent and the head coach agent is the same dude.
You mean the man that is the agent for 95% of all D1 coaches? That one?
That's what it sounded like.
Hey, that man got to be hit with a RICO at some point. Something ain't right.
Not the RICO.
Not stop me when I'm lying.
I know you ain't.
I'm gonna tell you this. It's some Florida State people right now that if that man is ever touched down in Tallahassee, he ain't gonna make it back to Tallahassee Regional. I can promise you that.
And I'm gonna be somewhere watching, sitting on the back of my truck with a cold beer in my hand.
Because I need all Florida State friends to understand. I need y'all to understand one thing. Alabama was never hiring Mike Norvell.
No, they were not. I think a lot of it is like you said, Troy. They looked at that record and was like, "No."
Yeah.
Women lie, men lie, numbers don't lie. And the thing that you can do with numbers is you can build predictability models, which is what a lot of people do. They built the predictability model with the information that they had and said, "Oh no,
Right.
that ain't gonna work in these parts."
So, when I say stuff like the athletic directors on the PIP, I'm not saying that to be funny. I'm not saying that for likes and clicks. I'm telling you the truth. It just happens to be funny the way I say it.
Cause I technically work a corporate job, so when people get on PIPs, you can go ahead and pack up your cubicle, your office, your standing desk, whatever the fuck it is, because you ain't getting off it. They design them things for you to feel.
Yeah. People, and all these people talking about, oh, Florida State broke. Look, Florida State ain't broke. What the Board of Trustees done told y'all is they have ran the ship aground. We're not finna give them more money to blow. So it's finna be lean for a little minute, and then when it's not, we good. Bad enough the Ibis is in the national championship game at home.
That was not my bingo card.
Quit telling them white people to go to Opelika.
No! Stop. First of all, Opelika ain't even fucking Opelika no more. It's motherfucking Brickell. Apartments down there, $3,000. And the last time I lived in Miami, I was managing bread routes. We was riding through Brooklyn, and I was like, I know where I'm at. This the hood.
Mm-hmm.
There was a white lady walking a poodle.
Mm-hmm.
I looked at the driver, and I said, "Hey man," he said, "Yeah, it ain't the same no more." I said, "Nah," because about 5-10 years ago, that lady would have been on a missing poster and the dog.
But
No,
No, I'm just I find it interesting how grown people, and I've had some content creators get mad at me on my stance on this, but the truth of the matter is, it is very easy to make them kids the villain when the grown people is getting all the money.
Yep.
So, we got the national championship game. What, next Monday?
Mm-hmm.
We got we got this weekend. Who we got this weekend for the NFL? You got Pittsburgh and not Pittsburgh, but
no, not Pittsburgh.
Houston and
Hold on, I got it.
I think it's Houston.
Is it Denver? Is it Denver? Do they go to Denver?
The Broncos are playing Buffalo.
Okay, the Broncos and Buffalo. Oh, that's gonna be a nice one.
And then the Texans and the Patriots. The 49ers and the Seahawks. And the Rams at The Chicago Bears. That was not on my bingo card. It's not.
So the Patriots and the Texans, two defensive-minded head coaches going at each other, that's going to be a real interesting. But I think you got the NFL MVP in this game right here, and that's Drake May.
Yeah, Drake May is it. And again, the kid that gave Mac Brown a heart attack is the NFL MVP.
I don't even think he gave Mac Brown a heart attack. I think Mac Brown he way past his prime. It was time for you to sit your old ass down somewhere. But that Buffalo versus Denver is going to be a nice one, because I want to see. I want to see what Buffalo's receivers are going to do against Denver's no-fly zone. Because I'm sorry, PS2 is almost like the second coming of Champ Bailey in my eyes.
Would I be wrong to say he better than his daddy was?
Hey, Patrick Surtain wasn't no slouch when he was at Miami.
Yeah, but he ain't his kid.
Oh no,
he ain't his kid, and that's not being disrespectful to Pat Surtain. But his kid,
his
kid is special.
Oh yeah. It's so crazy because it's like you see these guys now in the NFL, just like when their dad was in the NFL, like Joey Porter Jr. for Pittsburgh. I think he should be better as a press corner. You see, I said PS2. Who's the other one I'm thinking of? I was gonna say JT Horn, but Joe was a receiver.
Yeah.
That's the tip of my trying to figure out who was the other one. But just to see these kids, man, like just like 10, 15, 20 years ago, we were watching they pops in the NFL. Yeah. Now we see watching the kids.
That's crazy. Like
I forgot about Stingley because his daddy was a dog too.
So with Mike Tomlin stepping down, Eric Spoelstra is now the longest tenured head coach across 4 major U.S. sports.
Who?
Eric Spoelstra. Miami.
Spoelstra.
Yeah.
Hey, can I get? I need to fire something off real quick. I need to fire something off real quick. Can y'all please, for the love of God, quit trying to send Ja to New York? He can go to Miami. He can go to Orlando.
He don't need to go.
No. He don't need to be in New York or Miami. He needs to be in a small market team. Send him to Utah. Problem is he in Memphis. And as a man that used to live in Memphis, that's why he had like that. He need to go to Utah.
Hey, you ain't lying.
He don't even send him to Riley to the Hornets because that's ghetto too.
Hey, you ain't lying. You ain't lying, Jamal. Living in Memphis, because I lived in South Memphis. Oh no.
Bro, when I tell you where I used to live at, you gonna go down. I used to live 7 minutes from Beale Street.
You live with Orange Mound?
Damn near.
Okay. So like I'm just saying, I'm gonna be honest with you. Don't send him to Dallas.
No, he don't need to be in Dallas either. He don't. And the problem is, because he can't even go to the Pelicans. He gonna be in worse trouble than Zion and his bad BBL models. Yeah, Utah, Sacramento. That's where he need to go. Minnesota, maybe. That's.
No, you don't need to go to Minnesota. Him and Ant.
No, one of them gonna have to move. So they ain't gonna be on because Indiana love their guns too. When I lived in Indiana, they installed gunshot detection. They were shooting so bad.
Gunshot detection.
Yeah. Like real sad story, but real story. One of my coworkers was killed in Indianapolis when I was living there, and they still don't know who did it.
Oh wow. Unsolved.
That's how bad that city is. Small market teams for Ja.
Yeah, I'd say Sacramento because it's still a drive away from you still gotta drive to Oakland. Or you know what I'm saying? You ain't it even though it's like a 2.5 hour drive from Sacramento to Oakland, you still gotta drive through the before you get to the town. Like I said, I would say Oklahoma City, but nah, they good. They good with what they got. They don't need all them problems. I would say San Antonio. Now, if Greg Popovich was still coaching right now, I would have said San Antonio.
No, because he don't want to listen. Pop would have put him off the team.
But that's the thing, though.
You think Pop was going to deal with all that?
Mm-hmm. Pop wouldn't deal with Mad Max. He told Mad Max, if you keep going to the club, I'm going to trade you. And he traded him.
Yes. So that wouldn't have worked. Pop was old school. He had a thin line for bullshit. Actually, there was no line for bullshit. There was zero line.
I would say Utah. Because they ain't got shit up there. His ass gonna be a Mormon by the time.
If NBA young boy can do house arrest in Utah and not get in trouble, Ja can go to Utah and not get in trouble.
Yeah.
I said what I said.
But you ain't wrong. That's the whole thing. You ain't wrong. That makes perfect sense. But yeah, I need to get that off because I'm having to deal with a whole bunch.
Can I get this off my chest?
Oh, go ahead.
We've already said this before. The AD experiment is over with in Dallas. It is time to offload him and that ugly ass contract that he has. It is time.
You want to know something? Before you knew me, probably before Troy knew me and the nigga on Twitter argued for a week straight because I said he was washed while he was in LA. Man, he an MVP. What have you done for me lately? Nothing. He gets hurt every 90 days.
Yeah,
and of course, he got hurt. So he's going to be out for a couple of months with a left hand injury. I think he's going to have surgery on his thumb. Yeah, it's time to get rid of him, get what we can get.
He gave his best years to New Orleans, and they did nothing with him.
Even when they brought Boogie Cousins up in there in New Orleans,
Boogie Cousins wasn't the help he needed. That was a semi crash out.
But I'm just saying when he went to New Orleans, he kind of did. You seen the demeanor, the demeanor on Boogie Cousins. He did kind of chill out.
He did. He had to chill out.
He had to chill out. He had to chill out because they weren't playing that shit down there. And then remember, like I said, it eased the AD from playing the 5 to go back to his natural position at the 4. Playing a high-low post game. Oh my God, that was nice. We saw a glimpse of that when this year, well, not this year, but last year, when he's healthy and you got your big man healthy, they can play the high low, you know what I'm saying, the high post, low
the key
post.
word with him is if he is healthy.
If he is healthy.
Next question I'm about to ask is, when is he healthy? When is he healthy long enough to have a real deal impact on the season and what is going on?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I think
The bubble.
I think it's time for him to just go. And the reason why I say that is because, like, you can't give me at least, if you could give me 55 games in a season, 55. Season is 82. You give me 55 games in a season, or at least 60. To me, that is a complete season. But you can't even give me 20, 25.
Nope.
You can't give me that. We about to be like, bro, we're about to be at the halfway point for the All-Star game.
Him and LeBron in the same position. Everybody need to retire.
Bron talking about, the reason why Bron ain't retiring, he waiting on for Bryce to come in, but
he's not going to make it that long.
And Bryce is redshirting though too.
That's because Bryce shouldn't have took his ass to Arizona. Again, I'm on the road tonight. Stop me when I'm lying.
You know, I had to tell somebody when it came to these player evaluations in AAU, there's a key word: projection. You are projecting where these players are going to be.
I seen in AAU circuit, I seen Tyrese Maxey playing high school here in Dallas and on the AAU circuit, and I knew that he was going to be a dog when he got into the NBA. Like, seriously, I knew he's gonna be that dude when he was at Kentucky. But I knew he was gonna be a dog when he got into the NBA.
What I'm about to say next, somebody gonna tell me I'm lying, but I'm saying it. I don't know. I know it wasn't money as to how Arizona landed him. It was not money because he comes from money. I don't know why. I have yet to figure this out. Nothing about the Arizona basketball program should have been enticing enough for him to go there. They have been relevant because it's Arizona, but they have not done much of anything to warrant me going there as a freshman if my name is Bryce. So I don't know. Maybe it's the plethora of white women he had at his fingertips, but they got even more white women at UNC and Duke. Those would have been better programs that would have been able to use his skill set and allow him to have an immediate impact. Not even just UNC and Duke, just a basketball school in general. Hell, he could have went to Gainesville and had a better impact than what he having right now.
I think he could have went to Sacramento State. Go up there. Ain't Mike Bibby the head coach up there?
Yeah, but that again, he's in the same position he's in with Arizona State. Yes, Mike Bibby is the head coach. What did Mike Bibby coach before he went to Sacramento State?
Nowhere.
Thank you. Ding 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 ding.
Or he could have just came into the SWAC.
Again, when that light skinned man was our head coach, I said it. I was like, hell, I would invite him, I would wine and dine him, and I would send him an invite. Worst they could say is no. North Carolina A&T offered both of them when they was teenagers.
Mm-hmm. Nobody wants to hear that. Well, I'll tell you why. They went to Arizona because the coaching staff NBA pedigree. That's it.
And they getting their teeth kicked in.
because NBA coaches aren't the best college coaches.
Yeah, but they're actually doing better than what people are expecting them to do as far as the season in the Big 12.
But
because you still, I mean, in the Big 12, as far as basketball wise, it's literally wide open. It's wide open. The only team you really in the Big 12, the only team you really have to look out for is Kansas. It's Kansas. It's Kansas.
But they have down years though.
They have down years.
Kansas will fuck around and lose to Austin Peay on a random ass Wednesday just for shits and giggles.
And they will still win the Big. They will still win the Big 12. Bill Self is not no. I would have see if it was me. If Bryce was my son, I would have seen him. I mean, I would have seen him to Kansas.
Well, but LeBron didn't have anything to do with none of their recruitment. His wife handled all of their recruitment.
Yeah.
Because that became a point of contention for recruiters because they wanted to talk to him and he was like, I don't have nothing to do with that. You gotta talk to my wife. So even that became a thing. And then she wouldn't allow them to talk to the kids just all random and willy-nilly, which I agree with. Still in the vein of basketball, but I watched the interview with Joyce Elwood's mom like 2 weeks ago where she was pretty much like, coaches had a 2-hour block on like Wednesdays and Fridays where they could call her. That was it. They were not about to interrupt her in school. They were not about to blow her up at night. They were not about to bother her when she was in practice. So you had this window to talk to her, and if she did not want to talk to you, that was it. We weren't making her talk to you. We weren't Joyce Edwards at South Carolina. We weren't bending no rules. That was it. That's that. Savannah kind of ran the same ship. Like you had to talk to her before you talked to them. And if you was talking weird to her and she ain't like what you was on, then you weren't talking to them. I respect that.
Yeah, I respect that too.
College coaches are used car salesmen.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Man, Bryce could have went down to Suno and see how it is in that.
Not on that EBT card. They couldn't even land Cayenne Anthony.
Well,
he could have went to New Orleans, University of New Orleans.
I think a bunch of players stayed away from University of New Orleans because of that gambling scandal.
No, they're still going down there. That's just one person. That was just one person, and that dude is not even on the team no more.
Oh no, he ain't on nobody's team no more.
And that's what I'm saying. He ain't on nobody's team. He ain't on that team right there. And I'm glad that Master P did his due diligence to say, hey, you guys to go.
So,
oh, hi, Danny. How you doing, Danny?
I think she's working the game. I think she's working. You working the game?
No, I was up at practice. They leave tomorrow for Austin, so I was their managers aren't back. So when their managers aren't around, I try to help out with the uniforms and making sure they all packed up, ready to go. So they leaving tomorrow.
They going to Houston Tillotson?
They play Houston Tillotson on Thursday, and then we gonna be up in Dallas for Saturday. And then Sunday and Monday, I'm working the minor league all-star game, minor league hockey all-star game in Allen, Texas.
Oh, you working the Allen Americans over at?
No, it's an all-star game.
Oh, okay, but
I'll be at their arena.
Yeah, they got a nice arena out there.
Yeah, I've heard. I'm excited. I've only covered high school hockey, so I'm excited to do some semi-pro. See what these guys looking like and talking about. See who's gonna make it to the NHL.
The NHL about to be on break anyway for the Winter Olympics.
Yep.
What else we talked about? Dang, what is some other things we talked about? Need to talk about. I mean, we got the national championship game. Are we still gonna talk about that on Thursday? Kind of lead up to it on Monday. Troy? Or how?
Hear me?
I think,
Can y'all hear me?
yeah, I think that blonde hair later done. That blonde hair later done turned off his Wi-Fi.
She said enough for tonight.
Turned his Wi-Fi off. Any more crash outs, Jamal?
Can y'all hear me?
No, I don't think I had no more crash outs. I can't crash out about the game. It is what it is. It happens when you have a young team and your QB finally getting some development. So I'm not mad about that shit. We'll be back. Fuck everybody but us. Duval. I don't have no crash out.
Man. So I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you.
The answer is no.
Men's basketball, absolutely not. I had a sliver of hope.
Basketball.
I had a sliver of hope that they would be like middle of the road. I didn't know they was gonna be this good.
The answer is no for women's basketball too.
Asking how Mo Williams doing. I mean, we doing all right. We had a hit week. Man, Alabama A&M came out swinging. Kentavious Dozier kicked our ass by himself.
I'm gonna tell you a conversation that need to be had. Bethune-Cookman got to learn to play together.
But that's what I was saying in the group chat. Not the reason why he was out isn't the issue. It's just the fact that he was out.
He was out. Yeah, but 20-point score that was out.
Even if he was out with an injury, he was out because he didn't want to go to class. None of that. The problem is he was out. So now they have to you have to adjust your substitution calls. You have to adjust what plays you call in certain situations. They have to adjust who gonna crash the board, who gonna take the shot here, who gonna be in this spot. And I'm saying this as a former hooper. Like, it takes a lot. They might not get this together until we get to the tournament, but it takes a lot to readjust to somebody like being all right, he back, boom, there you go, figure it out.
Yeah, it doesn't. That's just not how it works. And the people that think that's how it works are delusional. Like, you've clearly never played a sport if that's how you think.
The latter part, they never played nothing.
Like, you know, and I'll be honest with you, like, that kind of stuff make me crash out. Because how are you up here making all these comments? You got all these opinions, and you so off base. You so off base. You clearly know nothing about sports, right?
It's the same. And it's the same.
Huh?
It was the same thing when we had with Deshaun when he came back after his injury. Like, he had to get acclimated, and people was like, why they not? You know, our fans was like, why they not playing him 30-some minutes a game? I'm like, dude, he's coming off of a knee injury. Like,
and people really don't understand the difference between an injury recovery or even an illness. Like, if you're sick, like, there's a difference between training and game play. Like, they're totally different. It's like your focus has to be at a totally different level when you get back on that field or that court. So for people to not understand that and be asking questions like, why would you want somebody taking, 85 snaps and they just got their knee snapped in half? Niggas, go sit down. Like, what are we talking about?
But you see how he is now with Deshaun, that boy is a 30-point scorer.
Absolutely.
He can. When I say he was getting busy last night, he was getting busy. I just was upset that the rest of the team couldn't get busy like him. Like you got to match that. When he out there, he try to cook somebody. If he going to one-on-one matchups, if he try to cook somebody, you got to be on that same. You got to be on the same wavelength as him. He said, reminding him of a young Mark Aguirre. Oh, wow.
Listen, I'm about to tell y'all something that y'all probably was not expecting to hear. The SWAC is going to have the most exciting basketball in damn near all of mid-major basketball.
It's going to be it's going to be a intense tournament time too, since everybody qualifies for the tournament this season.
Man, that thing going to be a knife fight. It's going to be a knife fight.
So Troy, I know when you put it in the chat, we put it in our group chat about USF. They got their QB.
Yeah, they got two QBs.
They got two QBs. So you're saying now that Andrew Body might as well go back to Alabama State.
I told y'all,
this Alabama State don't offer his. If they don't offer his major for grad school.
So I don't know if Alabama State is still an option. I haven't talked to the people yet, but I'm gonna say this, right? I like Body. I want everybody to understand. I think he's a very talented fellow. I was concerned when quarterbacks are in tiers. You have tier 1 quarterbacks that everybody wants. Ty Simpson is probably the only tier 1 quarterback out there, and he is entertaining whether or not he's gonna go back to school or not for NIL. So there's that. When those second tier and third tier players started going, and I didn't see Body name, I got concerns. Nope, I should not see West Florida quarterback go before Andrew Body. I'm sorry.
But what type of season did he have last season at West Florida? Did he pass?
He had an amazing season.
So then
he had an amazing season. But again, we talking about a Division II quarterback versus a Division I quarterback.
But
we saw what he did against UAB. West Florida quarterback ain't have no UAB moments.
But
you know what I'm saying?
But here's the thing, though, Troy. Marcus Stokes is not a Division II quarterback. That dude was a P4 quarterback at the most. He messed himself up because of what he said. Nobody didn't want to touch him, so he went to West Florida.
Oh, wait, that's that. Okay, yeah. He was supposed to go to Florida. I remember now. He ran his mouth and lost his scholarship at Florida. Okay,
lost his scholarship, and that's the reason why nobody didn't want to touch him. He was toxic if you really think about it. But the head coach down in West Florida said, "Come on over here. You got to earn your keep." He did what he was supposed to do. He got his chance to go to Memphis. He's going to be the starter for Charles Huff at Memphis. I'm not. He is not going to play. He's not going to be on the bench. He's not going to do none of that. He is going to be the starter.
He's supposed to announce by the end of the week. That'll be great. But again,
because the portal closed on Friday.
Yeah. Again, in the South Florida suburbs, at FAU. Willie Simmons had an opportunity to get Body. So I don't have any intel that he's going to FIU. Now, like I said, I don't have any intel that he's going to FIU. But if he does, that's great. I just want him to land somewhere. And And I'm not against him going back to HBCUs, none of that. So don't read anything into that. It's just I think he is a lower tier 2, upper tier 3 quarterback, and he should have been gone. I've seen Kennesaw State too. And I haven't seen, and again, I don't see a lot of Kennesaw State information. I pretty much follow all of the portal guys that report on Twitter and on Instagram. I haven't seen a lot of Kennesaw State signings. So it's very possible that, when we get closer to the portal closing, Kennesaw State have a bevy of signings. So that's possible. But we got to acknowledge, hey, when you start getting later in the portal season, it gets kind of scary. And let's not forget the fact that as long as he's in the portal, he can sign in April.
Yeah, you just can't jump. You can't jump in the portal after Friday.
Yeah, he can't jump in the portal. So it's good. So for all of these coaching gurus, it's like, oh, classes is going on right now. Some of these kids are probably finishing up what they need to at their old institutions to make sure that they're eligible at a new institution.
Yep.
So
I think what
they're
people
not gonna.
don't realize is that when you're in the transfer portal, a lot of these kids already have an idea of where they want to go, but they have to enter the portal to get picked up. But in that process, there is, like Troy was saying, like there are academic and enrollment things that boxes that have to be checked off. So they're not waiting until they get recruited to know what processes are in place, because they got to apply to these other schools. Like people be real slow, and it makes me wonder if they actually have a degree or if they just think, oh, this is my opinion, so I'm gonna share it. But to get into college, bro, you gotta there's an application process for everyone. Like, so I mean, I don't know if people are just oblivious or they just want to just have something to say instead of saying something of value or what, but there's a whole process for that. And anytime that they have some interest, or they know, hey, I definitely want to see if I can get picked up by school X, Y, and Z, part of that recruiting process is making sure that your application is done. You can't commit or be signed if you're not accepted into said school. And I just hope that people realize that while they out here talking about he going to all these other places and he finna do this and do that, bro. They gotta there's an application. They not just, this ain't the league. This is not pro, semi-pro. Like, you don't just get picked up and sign a contract. They're still in school.
You heard it on here first. The rosters aren't updated. Dennis told you the rosters aren't updated because of compliance. So, like, I definitely, people need to understand that we get all excited as fans and we want to know where all these players going because we fans. This is still education. Forget what them people done told you about NIL and making black and brown students the boogeyman. This is still college. This is still an educational component. You still got to go to class. You got to go to your 6 classes and pass to be eligible. Point blank, period. Ain't no getting around that. So everybody need to relax.
And why would you want rosters updated right now? Why? It's January.
Again, people
It's January. Like,
get all, see, here's
it
my
is
favorite part.
effing January.
People
They
get
don't
all
even
excited.
report for preseason until effing July at the earliest. And
Most kids,
July is not even practice because you can't actually start official practice with pads until what is it,
it's just,
36 days. I may be getting NAIA and NCAA, but there's a time frame.
Yeah.
Like you could do conditioning and no contact, but you can't actually start practice until a specific number of days before your first game. Before the first game. Like people, some schools are still like tweaking their schedules. Some of them. But the roster itself, like I wouldn't even, as a coach, I wouldn't even want my roster out there this early.
no.
I don't want you knowing who I'm playing and putting in. I don't want you knowing my depth chart in January when I still got 8-9 months to get my team together. Ain't no way. Like, so some of y'all sound stupid.
And if you think about it, I'm looking at it because I'm looking at it like a lot of people get kind of antsy when it comes to like right now when you look at it, you don't have people on your, you're trying to see what your roster looks like, but you don't know what your roster look like because first and foremost, the coach is gonna have to re-recruit his roster. He has to re-recruit his roster, try to get kids up out of the portal, and then he's gonna go look he's trying to go ahead and replace some of those kids that either jumped in the portal or graduated. Like when you see, and I'm put for example, Jackson State, we lost a lot of kids because of we lost a lot of kids because of graduation, not because of the portal, but because of graduation. We only lost a few for the portal. We lost a couple of because some of them get ready, to go for the NFL, right? They want to go ahead and get ready for the draft process. But you don't like what we saw. I saw on Twitter this weekend, like all of our, all the kids that committed, your JUCOs and your transfer portal kids committed, and most of them are getting ready to come. They are in school now at Jackson. Like you don't, and then you gotta realize you still have a February signing period. Those for the rest of the kids as high school, really for high school and for the other transfer portal kids. And then also you got to remember too, late May, early June, you got a lot of kids that are on the JUCO level. You have to wait for them to graduate from the JUCO level.
And to Emmett's point, I wasn't talking about spring ball. Spring ball is totally different. And a lot of the kids that play spring ball may not even make it to the fall roster. So again, like that spring roster is totally different. It's no different than fall ball for
Spring kids
baseball.
gonna flunk out after spring.
They hardly it's like having practice players for basketball.
They're gonna
You know what
decide
I'm
they
saying?
don't like the
And
school or the city or the coaching staff, and they gonna want to leave.
yeah, like I don't even count spring ball. It's
A lot
again, it's
gonna
like
happen. The
fall
only
ball. It's
people
like
that are probably
fall ball for baseball, right? Like
yes.
that's not your season, so that's not your actual roster.
Mm-mm.
So yeah, when you look at it, it's like it's not your actual roster. Your roster, like you said, your roster gets finalized. Really finalized what 2 weeks after media day?
Hell, 5 minutes before
No.
the first game.
Then
Yeah.
I told y'all, Howard was doing roster updates at the Orange Blossom Classic 30 minutes before kickoff.
Yeah, 5
I'm
minutes.
talking about
Before the first game.
competent football teams. Confident.
Probably no, because don't they have to submit the rosters to the
You just have to submit the
NCAA.
personnel, and then if there are change, because again, coaches change numbers and all that stuff at the last minute. You up just like the update media. You update the coaching staff. This player is now this, yada yada yada. That's a whole thing.
That's why I
Yeah,
said like that's why I said like
there's
2 weeks after 2 weeks, like kind of like 2 weeks after 2 or 3 weeks after media day.
I think well, there's two different rosters to think about. Like there's a clearance process, and so players have to be cleared and certified. Um, it's- I it again different from the NCAA. For the NCAA, I haven't been in the NCAA in a minute, but there's a certification process for every sport every
Yep.
semester. So every semester that sport is playing, if it crosses over between the fall and the spring, then you have to certify your players, right? So going into football season, their certification process, they have to be certified within a certain number of weeks before their first game.
No, it's the same thing on the NCAA level. That's what
Yeah.
happened to us when we played UNC that year. They did not have all of the players certified in enough
No,
time.
that's
Like,
what I'm saying. It's the same. I just don't know the number of days or
yeah,
weeks
like they were certifying
beforehand.
dudes like the day before the game. They couldn't like they were just
Exactly.
flying up there just to be with the team. And they didn't get a chance to play.
Yeah,
Again,
and then
we had our full
some of them
squad,
get
UNC, and
certified.
got their ass beat.
hmm And like Jamal was saying, like some of them do like, and it's not illegal. It's just the certification process. There's paperwork that has to be signed. If they're a transfer, they have extra paperwork that they have to sign, and the other school has to certify that they're in academic good standing before they
Mhm.
can even sign. So you can be enrolled at a new school but then not be able to play that next season. You may lose that year of eligibility because you were not academically eligible to play. You weren't in academic good standing. And that's something that a lot of kids don't realize. And then they get upset because now you've lost a year of eligibility. And when it's for academic reasons and it's not an academic hardship or anything like that. You just didn't do what you were supposed to do in the classroom. You don't get that year back.
You still a
You still a
student is
student,
still first.
always.
But most coaches tell you go to school, go to class in the spring, and then you want to stay up to par, you want to get ahead, take your ass to summer school.
Absolutely. And the other thing
Yep.
is like some kids are in academic good
Two
standing, but
classes during summer.
they haven't made progress towards degree. And so that's why
Yeah.
you see a lot of kids will go to summer school because they're trying to meet not just the eligibility requirement of number of credit hours passed, but they also have to make progress towards their degree. So they'll go to summer school because they may have taken electives during a heavy part of their season in the second semester. That's intentional. But then you still have to make progress towards your degree. And unfortunately, when you don't have academic advisors and compliance coordinators who have a keen eye for that stuff, that's where some of our kids are getting into trouble.
Yep. We have a complicated relationship with our last AD, but I would absolutely give her that. Compliance was her thing, and she was a beast at it.
Absolutely. That's where she started off.
And,
So
and I would never ever take. Listen, I have my feels, but I would never take that away from her. When it came for certification, everybody was certified like 2 weeks before the season started.
yep.
It wasn't this up in the air thing. Hey, are we gonna have a team? Are we gonna have the same thing that happened? No, she was like, "Hey, we done. All of that is done. Yeah, we had to
Yes,
work
and
14 hours a day, but it's done.
poor compliance will get ADs fired.
It should."
Yeah, it 100% should. Um, because I don't want to say there's no excuse for it, because I don't want to be that guy, right? And I'm fully aware that there are some athletic
I'll be
departments
that
that
girl though. I will be that woman. There is absolutely no excuse for having piss
That
poor
said, nah,
compliance
we not
because
doing that.
no, you know why? Because you are like, yes, the kids are supposed to have some level of responsibility and accountability. But if this is your job to make sure that these kids are doing what they're supposed to do academically and that you're communicating across campus, because academics for a student athlete is different than a regular student. A regular student can take one class per semester and be cool unless their degree has other requirements. Student athletes can't do that. And so when you don't have the proper oversight, yes, I'm going to be that woman because what are you doing? Anyway, y'all know I get real spicy about stuff like this because I can't stand an adult who is lazy or incompetent to where it impacts a child. I don't care if this kid is 20 something. They're still a kid. It's probably we're still seeing a lot of kids where they're first year college students. So they're learning as they're going through it and they ain't got nobody to help them understand the rules. Hell, some of us that work in athletics look at these bylaws and it's like, who wrote this and why?
Mm.
Why is it written this way? Like you really trying to screw over these kids. You really trying to make it hard for them. Why? So if you think a kid coming into college or trying to matriculate through college and understand progress towards degree is not just about passing classes, it's about taking the right
Art
classes.
classes. Yep.
Boy, don't piss me off. Troy, go
But
ahead, be that guy. It is okay.
no, I was just because I know institutions that I love have compliance positions that are open.
Hey, one second. EA, yes, he did finally fill those positions, but filling a position doesn't matter when you don't have competent leadership. Her niche is compliance. She is extremely knowledgeable and I will say an expert in NCAA compliance. So filling those positions would not matter if she did not know compliance. We still would have been in the same position. Those 6 positions just gave her the manpower to ensure that athletics as a total was compliant with what we need to be. If you look across the tracks, they got like 30 people working in compliance. 30.
Absolutely.
And we had 6.
And this is why I say
That is all
my
I'm saying about it.
my my understanding of the budgetary concerns. I'm not excusing shit, so let's not get it twisted. But I look at them open jobs every day.
Yep.
So I also look at cross Game Street kind of sideways because how you got all those compliance people and you can't win more than 7 games a season.
Well,
But
That ain't on compliance. That just on the
no,
coaching.
he blaming everybody.
Yeah, you can't blame. That's on coaching and the play on the field, man.
oh no, listen, for the number of players that transfer out and that are going to be eligible, that compliance department over there do a hell of a job. Man, I don't. You know what? I'm gonna be a better person tonight. I'm gonna move along.
Yep.
No, go ahead, crash out.
Hmm,
Do it.
there's no reason to crash out. Like until we get a new athletic director, there's no reason to crash out. I will say this though: to the person who keep writing the fake president, I relieve the AD of duty Twitter post, I hope you ride in hell. I do. You're not funny. It ain't cute.
Lord have mercy.
It's a whole bunch of people that be sending me this stuff talking about is this real, and I'd be like, wait, what? Why is the president name up? Like I actually had to research and to find out. Oh, this is wrong.
Hey, you got more computer time now. That lady gonna put you in the headlock.
Listen,
We gotta
let me
get
tell
up
you
out.
something. Let me get. We gonna close this out because she already said something sideways to me.
Don't be telling me nothing now. If you get punched now in your sleep,
Listen,
Blink once in the chat.
when we got back together, I informed her that I called the police. So put your hands on me. I'm calling the police.
Troy said, I'm a white woman. I call police.
For real, I'm not playing that. We don't do that over here.
HOA, I will not.
I know
Nope.
that's right, Troy. Tell them these fees too high.
You know what? Here's what's funny. Our fees have gone down.
I'm not even that guy. You hit me, you might as well go ahead and call your brother. If you got one. And I hope he got his sweetheart.
But listen, I do want to thank the 119 in the building. I want to thank Mr. Dennis Driscoll for coming on.
Yep.
Wonderful time. Again, we do like to protect our guests, but he was completely okay with the shenanigans, so it's all good.
We tried to be good.
Did we really?
Jamal was good tonight.
We did. No, I ain't say nothing that crazy. I just he a Broncos fan. He talking about Broncos and somebody in the Super Bowl. I hope both y'all lose.
I mean, that's expected. But no, we was, we was really good. I do think we need to get, and not just with FAMU, with Jackson State and everybody else.
Jackson State AD won't even respond to your email.
I'll talk to him.
Believe it or not, Matt, I asked tough questions. I asked tough questions. He even answered some questions that I didn't expect him to answer. But the goal of me having him on tonight is so that y'all can get an idea of what he actually does.
We don't want to run him off. We want him to come back.
Yeah. What he actually does, that he does.
No,
like,
it's a couple people we want to run off.
Yeah. I mean, I just want everybody to get to know him, because I see a lot of things that are said, and a lot of it is not fair. And again, if y'all know what he has done for us, if y'all know what he's done for like the media that's around FAMU, a lot of people have a lot of different opinions on him. So it's all cool. And like I told y'all in front of him,
why you ain't had me on as your SID guest?
I know she was the first actual front office person that we had on the show. He's trying to make it seem what we not going to do is we're not going to make it seem like you was the first front office person we had on here.
I know.
Give us a hard time. Let me get up out of here, y'all. I gotta get to work.
You gotta get to work. Man, F that job. No, I'm just playing. Make that money.
My job,
make that money.
It's a flow night shift to me. And I said, y'all know I'm from here, right? And they're like, yeah. I said, the day y'all send me the night shift is the day I will submit a 2-week notice. I have another job by the end of the week.
I know that's right.
I don't work night shift. Night shift is for new hires and college kids. I'm not working that shit.
Listen,
Matt. Hey, Matt.
No, they're not in Florida.
Huh?
No, that's a Florida thing he talking about.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The auxiliary funds rule, that's not. That's a Florida thing. Now, our government, Governor Landry, who I can't stand, I think he's despicable.
That man is horrible.
He's
he
the devil.
A crackhead.
Yeah, he's. I'm just waiting for something to come out about him. Like I don't know. He's he gives pedophilia, he gives wicked, he gives a whole lot of things. But he did come up with um a bill, passed a bill into law that would provide additional funding for Louisiana state schools.
And
And
I think he shut
so,
down all the hospitals, but too.
I don't think
right,
it's for
but then you
Louisiana
get
State Schools.
like
I just think it's for LSU.
he's horrible. Like he's consistently doing Trump's bidding and it's disgusting. And people keep voting for them. Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, is from Louisiana too. And I'm like, we got
I
two of
be
the worst.
forgetting that shit. He is from Louisiana.
He's from Louisiana, and I don't
Yeah, he
understand
from
why people
Shreveport or somewhere in that area.
Shreveport, yeah, they keep voting
Yeah.
against their own best interests, just like the people in Kentucky that keep voting in Mitch McConnell, who is like one breath away from not having any breath
That
in
man
his
is dead,
lungs.
and nothing will convince me otherwise.
So anyway, long story short is no auxiliary funds for the schools in my conference. We don't have schools in Florida. And so the funding that we're able to get is
Bullshit.
designated for the use of like NIL and some other funds. But it's still hard for NAIA schools and HBCUs to get their hands on that money. Um, what I would like to see are the states that have stolen land grant money
Ooh,
from
wake
our
it up.
institutions give that money back to us,
Wake
because
it
that
up.
would be more beneficial than auxiliary funds and NIL funds and all these other reallocated funds that you've already like you're stealing from the poor to give to schools that are already benefiting from money. They already have larger budgets. The schools with the smaller budgets, because they're smaller schools or in rural areas or low income areas, they're not getting the benefit of these bills that are being passed. But what we would benefit from is if our state stop effing stealing from us and give us our due. But I guess that's a whole nother rant for another another
I think
show.
we all got that
Damn,
right.
don't piss me off. I done got pissed. Shit.
Well, I'm gonna say this again for the
He's stealing money and giving it to LSU. Let's keep it a buck.
Duh.
yeah.
No,
LSU
that's what
and
that's exactly what I'm saying. They're literally that
LSU
money is
and
not coming
what's
to
that
the
other
smaller
school?
schools.
Louisiana Monroe.
Nah, he only worries about LSU. He don't worry about nobody else.
I mean, well, LSU finally getting a new library after students been complaining that it's a hole in the roof, and they've been paying football coaches $500 million. So that's on brand. I
Yeah.
know a school that got a brand new law school after they stole from a land grab institution too.
Yep.
Well, I gotta go, y'all. Y'all have fun.
All right.
My Uber's
Well, for
on
the
its way right now.
115 in the building, I want to say thank y'all for coming out. Thursday night, we will be right here at 8:00. So for Doc Holliday, who just left at HBCU Overdrive, Danny and myself, Lord Jamal at Fat Mouth Sports, I want to thank y'all for coming out, and y'all have a good one.
Shoot an ICE agent.
Oh, Jesus.